What's up, Porsche fanatics? Will here with Rennthusiast, my YouTube channel centering on air-cooled Porsche 911 ownership experience, and I am exceptionally stoked about today's video because I'm going to show you what I believe is the most fun you can have in a classic Porsche 911. What is that, you might ask? Well, I just got back from Targa Carolina, which is a 2-day driving event for air-cooled Porsche owners in the mountains of western North Carolina. This is my 4th rally that I've been to. I've covered each one on the channel in different ways, and this one is going to be different because I've actually been able to get the organizer of Targa Carolina, a guy by the name of Charles Stanley, to join me here on set to talk to us about what goes on behind the scenes of this amazing event. I love Targa Carolina because it is not one of these kind of go and walk around cars that are parked and enjoy them in that way, but instead it is a driving event. It is 2 days out in the mountains, hanging out with air-cooled Porsche owners, looking at the cars, yes, but also driving the hell out of them. Before I jump into the interview though, I would like to invite you to give this video a thumbs up. It helps the video get found by other people just like yourself. I'd also like to invite you to subscribe, and finally I'd like to invite you to join a Facebook group that I have recently started. It's called Rennthusiast Air-Cooled Porsche Fans. It allows you guys to engage on a deeper level than just on this channel. Already up to 200 members, so very cool. You can come and ask questions or share your cars or whatever you want to do around your passion for classic Porsche 911. So let's jump into the interview. Okay, and we have my first ever interview in the garage set here, guys. We have Charles Stanley, the organizer of Targa Carolina and founder of Rotor Supply, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about Targa Carolina. As you know, if you've been around the channel for any length of time, I have covered Targa. It's a 2-day rally, driving our air-cooled cars, hanging around with guys up in the mountains of western North Carolina. Very honored to have you here, man. I appreciate you coming out and visiting with me.
Thank you, man. And these new director's chairs, I feel so secure. 3 points of contact.
Amazon special, baby.
Yeah,
they sent me the wrong color, though, dude. It's like a sage.
Oh, yeah? You didn't go sage?
I actually...
Let's call it chalk. These are paint to sample.
Well, I wanted to play well with the Amazon green,
right.
so
They do work with the interior.
That's right. Very nice of you to notice.
Yeah, super.
So I have struggled. I shouldn't say struggled. I have come up with kind of my own terms to describe Targa Carolina, but I would love to hear you tell the viewers in your own words, what is Targa Carolina?
It's really about just getting the girl, just getting the ladies. No, I've done some events in Texas and in California and really wanted to bring that style of event, a rally, a Targa, to our area. The mountains of western North Carolina are fantastic roads, and if you can bring a group of fun, passionate friends together and drive at pace in the mountains, in my mind, it's much better than, say, a Cars and Coffee. You see the owner, you hang out with the owner, you see the cars, you hear them in movement and at pace, and it's really a kind of an experience that changes the way you want to participate in car events.
I mean, I have to agree. I used to go to my fair share of Cars and Coffee, and I used to do track events, but really I've lost interest in all of that, and I just love rallies.
Yeah, I agree, and I think there's a place for a Cars and Coffee. It's neat that there's one in every town. There's multiple in towns, and you can connect with people and share stories. It's very much a gateway, and so yeah, there's a place for Cars and Coffee. But I think when you go to these kind of events and experience it, you want to come back. And once I started doing the rallies, I really stopped doing track days myself. I enjoyed the track, but running with friends on twisty mountain roads, and every drive is different. Even you could do the same drive twice, but with 5 different people, and it's a completely different drive. So I love that, definitely.
And you referred to it as kind of the gateway. The Cars and Coffee were the gateway, kind of like the gateway drug.
Yeah.
Because I've found Targa Carolina to be the gateway drug for me with air cooled, right? So every time I go, I see something cool. I come home and I'm buying seats or wheels or a new car. So yeah, man, you're dangerous in that way.
It's trouble, and if you're passionate about whatever you're passionate about, I think people call it your bucket one. So if you absolutely love watches or Porsches or Pokemon cards, your bucket one, you're looking for a reason to spend time there and spend money. So yeah, coming back from Targa, you see what someone else has done. a wheel fitment, interior touch, and you want to make some changes. But really, just getting out with people and driving, I think I said this at a P-Car Talk interview, it's kind of like the best of summer camp. There's not a lot as grown-ups. We're not out playing football. We're not out doing these things, but these experiences to me are like the sensations when your soccer team won regionals, or when you're at summer camp and you're just having a good time all day for a number of days. That's really what I'm trying to put on for car people.
Well, I mean, I got to tell you, I mean, the texting that happens up to the event and the subgroups and the guys that are getting excited about being there, I mean, it's like the Super Bowl for air-cooled Porsche guys. They look forward to it all year. Leading up to it, it's all like my phone's blowing up. Guys are, okay, are you dialed? Are you ready? I mean, it's a big deal.
Yeah, and I'm excited about it. And also, I tend to really stay kind of low-key and off social media until the actual day of the event. So a lot of people don't know when I'm going to send out an email.
Oh yeah, that's. Hey, have you seen the email yet? Have you seen the email yet?
And you got to pay attention because this year sold out so quick. But it's neat that it's a little bit underground. Yes, everyone knows about it now. We're posting about it. We're all excited about it. But leading up to it, it's kind of underground. There's not a Facebook group. It's really the community and the people that you've met, and how you can kind of continue to stay in touch until the spring one, or from the spring one to the fall one.
Well, you touched on an important term, I think, that I'd like to learn a little bit more about from your perspective, is this notion of underground, right? So, I mean, I think people want to be invited. I think that some people, they feel like if I don't get invited, maybe I'm being left out. And I think it's important maybe you talk a little bit about the exclusivity of the event, the practical reasons why it's not just, unlimited enrollment.
Sure. And I think underground is fun to say, and it's probably...
I want to be in the cool kids club.
Yeah, it's probably neat to say underground, but really it was just I'm inviting friends out. So year one, I just messaged a bunch of friends that I know from the Porsche community, and they showed up and we drove. So it continues to be not about exclusivity or excluding anyone, but really I'm having a party and I'm inviting my friends. And yes, my community grows each year, and I get to know more people, whether it's at Amelia Island or at a Cars and Coffee or a watch gathering or something like that. So I'm really not trying to prevent anyone from enjoying the rally, but just inviting people I know, I've met. They're bringing super fun energy, and I want to hang out with them that weekend.
And I think, too, there's like the practical end to it. You can't have 200 cars.
Correct.
Ripping back roads. I mean, how are you going to manage that as an organizer,
Yeah, luckily where we have the event now, there's a ceiling on the rooms that are available. So it's a nice natural cap, and we're never going to be the biggest event because it's grown a little bit each year, but really it's capped out this year in the mid-60s, and that's probably where it'll stay. It's just the cars on the road and how that plays with the community. It works really well. And so, yes, we'll have another event, and it'll probably be in the mid-60s as far as attendance. We could get 125, 150, but it really changes what I'm trying to provide for you to experience.
And, Targa has a really, really interesting vibe, and you mentioned that, you invite your friends, but what are you looking for when you start to assemble this group of people, culturally speaking?
Culturally, I just want people that want to have fun, and they're down to clown, and they're going to jump out of their car and give a high five. You can tell a lot from someone from just a quick conversation that you can't. There's some social media heroes out there that they've edited everything, and on social media you're like, wow. And then when you meet them in person, it's different. And there's not a personality I'm chasing, but it's just someone that's good energy. You want to embrace them and bring them, and they're going to enhance your run group. They're going to be someone you want to sit at the meal. So really everybody, and there's quiet and shy people that come to this event. It's not I want class clowns or varsity lettermen or a particular personality, because there's the full spectrum. Just like that 356 owner that's 100% stock, numbers matching and everything, they'll show up. And then there's the person that has chopped the bumper and chopped the exhaust, and they'll show up. So it's definitely a broad spectrum of people.
So as an attendee, I show up and everything looks very seamless and it's been put together quite nicely. I am sure that so much more work has gone on behind the scenes to put everything together so smoothly. So talk to me about, without giving away your secret recipe, of course. You're
got the secret sauce.
I know you, and yeah.
You can cook the spaghetti, but you don't have the sauce.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You know, the hatchets, for example.
Exactly.
No, but you know, talk to me a little bit about what goes into the planning, if you could.
Yeah, it's a good point. I really want to. If you've been to my event, you know my fingerprints and personality are all across it. Whether it's the logo, the hatchets that we give away, and I want individuals such as yourself, business professionals, I want you to show up and know that everything's taken care of. Because I think you can come and kind of just check out, and you're there, and regardless of what happens, whether she comes, stays, lays, or prays, no matter what happens, your toes are tapping. That's a Fast Times at Ridgemont High quote. But
and what's so scary is how quickly you rattled.
Oh yeah, it is sad. But you know, I want you to lunch is taken care of, the route's taken care of. You're gonna run with your friends, so you can unwind and check out. And if a perfect scenario, maybe you get lost, maybe you have no cell reception, and it just lets you experience something that you're not going to be involved in on a day-to-day basis. So I do put a lot of time into it, from where we eat to the routes to the hotel to how many people come, and it's just so to really provide a great experience.
And now Targa is every fall,
Yes.
And now you're starting to do spring events as well.
Correct. We had this year, which you attended, thank you, the Blue Ridge Ruckus, yes. And that takes place in the Blue Ridge Mountains. This year it actually took place in Southwest Virginia, and it was kind of cool. I wanted to add something. Also, these air-cooled cars often, as everyone knows, have challenges with air conditioning. So doing a fun spring event and a fun fall event, if you don't have AC, it doesn't matter. Those are great roads up there that we ran, and I would love to maybe add a third or a fourth if I have the bandwidth to prepare that and give the same experience. But yeah, the spring one is really a roadmap of Targa Carolina, but just done in the spring.
And what was interesting is it was in a city, Roanoke, Virginia. I don't know if you're going to keep doing it there. I think you may bounce.
We may change it. I think we may do Roanoke one more year, but I didn't call it the Roanoke Ruckus so that we can move it along the Blue Ridge Mountains. Yeah. So we have that ability to keep the name, but move it north, move it south for some fun.
Well, what was cool about this one is it was in a semi-urban setting, so you had restaurants you could walk to, and it was it was the same type of vibe around the cars, but a different type of vibe for the attendees.
Yeah, and some people said the roads were a little bit different. There were some tight sections. Still mountain roads, but having a city backdrop allowed for Friday night, you're going to go dine with your friends, dine with your run group, do whatever, and then we still had our Last Supper Saturday, and then at Targa Carolina, you are at that inn, hotel, resort, and so you're going to dine there each evening, and there isn't a city backdrop. So there's a slight different canvas, but we're kind of painting a very similar picture.
And what's nice about Little Switzerland Inn is guys can over imbibe and stick around. They're not going to drive anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to eat that evening. Your car's parked at 5, and you basically can have a few drinks and walk back to your room, or stay up late till 2 a.m. There are people that are doing that.
There's plenty of that.
The parking lot scene, the campfire.
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know, man. It was 12:05, and Pedro was making espresso. And I said, "Why are you making espresso?"
Dude, I walked out the next morning. I mean, you should have seen the aftermath.
Yeah.
Wine glasses around the park.
Some carnage. What's funny is I used to give out the pint glasses and the pennants at the Last Supper because I wanted that to be kind of a reveal. Right. So even if you didn't get a Hatchet Award, which are just fun awards, you got the pint glass and the pennant. But each year that we did that, someone would message me that they received so much fun beverage that they lost their pint glass, and they're like, "Hey Charles, did you get my pint glass?" Like I'm the den mother. Yeah. "Oh yeah, I've got it. Let me bring that by your room." But yeah, people would leave them out, and so I now give those with your packet when you show up on Thursday.
And then you are on your own in terms of babysitting your mom.
Yeah, you've got everything I wanted you to have, and you know where to put your decals. Don't lose it. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I got to say this has got to have been a powerful experience for you to watch this grow over the years. You said it's your 5th year of doing it?
This fall was the 6th year of Targa Carolina, yes.
And it started as a pretty small gathering in Chapel Hill, and it has now grown into this thing that has this alluring mystery to it. I mean, what's the event meant to you personally over the years?
I look forward to it. I love that it's grown. It's really enabled me to meet a lot of great people, get out and drive with people that I would not have met had this event not been out there. So yeah, we've got people coming from Texas and Arkansas and up north in Connecticut, down in Miami. So it's really been about bringing and building the community. And it's cool that it's North Carolina. There's so many rallies in California. You can kind of pick and choose Fault Line, Robbins Rally, Targa, California. But on the East Coast, there's not a lot. And so I love that we're slinging some cool stuff. So let's now close out with understanding kind of your non-rally work. So as I mentioned earlier in this video, you founded Rotor Supply, and obviously a good deal of your time does go into planning these rallies, which we all thank you for. But talk to me about Rotor Supply and what kind of other offerings you have. So Rotor Supply, we kind of started last year, and we officially built a website and created some branding at the beginning of the pandemic to kind of push that further. But Rotor Supply is, I'd have to say, analog movement with a sense of occasion. So there's a rotor on your 964, there's a rotor on my Hoyer Altavia, your IWC, there's a rotor on a Ducati or a nice high-end road bike. So really the rotor is connecting all those passions, all that sense of occasion, that analog movement. And so that's really what enabled me to push on rallies. I'm brokering cars, particularly with an air-cooled focus. I'm connecting great cars to great owners and then bringing them into the community. I source cars and buy them, and then we'll resell them. And a lot of stuff I'll go on and seek out a specific vehicle for that individual who wants a 993, who wants a certain price point. They want to spend $55, and so we help them. And that's going really well. Well, if someone was to be interested in talking to you about potentially helping them find a car, how would they reach you? Currently, you can reach me through my personal Instagram, which is cstanman. You can reach me through the Rotor Supply Instagram, which is just the Rotor Supply. You can message us. We do 2 big events. I want to do a few more, and I want to do some micro stuff that is kind of centered around just bringing people together, a little micro kind of rally, some stuff like that. So I have some thoughts and plans, but everything's been a bit on hold for the last, say, year and a half. I'm psyched that we've been able to execute these rallies during these times with a lot of precautions on dining outside and everything about it being outside to keep the flow going. Well, I hope that you've gotten a little bit of a better sense for what Targa Carolina is all about through this man right here. So I can't thank you enough for joining me for this. And then also, guys, Charles has a killer 85 back date that I'm going to interview him on in the coming weeks, and so that'll be on the channel. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so you can check that car out. It really is amazing. Thank you again, sir. Yeah, love being here. It was fun chatting, bringing back the same energy that we had just a few weeks ago. I mean, it just seems like it was only a few weeks ago, but now a weight off the shoulders and we start looking at dates. I've already got the date locked in at Switzerland Inn for next fall, but we'll keep. How about spring? Are we looking at dates yet? I am looking at dates. I have one. We'll go once we get to our safe zone and we turn the camera off. We'll start talking dates and locations. So I can put a hold on it at least. Yeah, keep it under wraps. But thank you for letting me be here. Yeah, man. Thank you. So as you can see, a lot of passion with Charles. I mean, for me, I am amazed to see this event come together every year. It really is a powerful experience for me to be around the cars, to be around the owners, to build my network, and to get inspiration for things that I want to do with my collection. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. This is the kind of thing I do. If you like it, please subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope to see you next time.